Oh my God. Did someone just say Grand Admiral Thrawn? Oh no. I am so excited. Bonjour. So it didn't take long. Didn't take long to get a good old kick in the bollocks from the Disney crew after my amazing day at Star Wars Celebration. Didn't take them long at all. They just can't. They just can't do it. They can't. This current construction of production. I don't know where to go with that one. For TV, oh, they just anyway. We start off on Coruscant with old short back and sides again, walking, talking. A scene that takes probably 3 or 4 minutes pre-credits to unravel, and it's all so unnecessary. It's funny. All the creeping around the dark alleyways of Coruscant, just to meet a massive probe droid in the middle of the scanning her, and she's giving her code number away to the probe droid in this alleyway, and she's looking behind her. Right. So this probe droid's going beep, beep. It's just hovering down in this alleyway. Oh. You got the hologram of old Moff Gideon. Load of talking, all of this stuff should have been unravelled throughout this series. We're at episode 7 now. All of this stuff should have been woven into a story that had a little bit of urgency to it, a little bit of dynamism to it. Just a momentum of moving forwards, of a story that unravels things about the characters, about where they are, about what they should be doing, about who they should be wary of. As the story moves, not just walking around and talking about it. What must we do now? Who is our enemy now? Please, Moff Gideon, tell me. Oh. And they think they're making it exciting by saying, now we've got the Shadow Council. Oh, so we finished with the walking and talking on Coruscant. With short back and sides. Oh, now we're at the Shadow Council. And now Moff Gideon's got to do a walk. Now, don't get me wrong, it's all well staged. It's beautiful looking. I mean, they have spent some dough on this series. That's one thing I will say. And the lights go dee as he's walking, and these troopers are either side of him. And that would be an amazing scene as the culmination to something. But all he's doing, that is the end of his conversation with short back and sides, and he's just walked into the room where he's got to talk to the Shadow Council. Cut from that, cut to that. In the Shadow Council now. But he'd done a walk, and the lights were going zoo. He's just having a chat with the Shadow Council. Well, does he do that every time he has to chat to the Shadow Council? Must get on his nerves. Oh, he's looking at his diary. Oh, I've got to walk through them lasers again. I've got to tell someone to order the troopers to stand either side of me. I've got to get someone to switch on the lasers. And they can't even get it right now. They can't even get this right. So you've got the Shadow Council, right? These are all the big bads. We're expecting them to get the Empire back together. Right. I get it. I'm on board for it. Old Moff Gideon and old Esposito, who plays him, awesome actor. So he can nail it. He can't nail the dialogue he's been given in this, but he can nail it if needs be, if we get someone good on the storytelling and the dialogue. But they can't even leave the big bad guys alone. These are supposed to be like, and they've got old Captain Pelion, whatever his name is, old Thrawn's second in command, and blah 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 blah, and that's all they're doing is blah blah blah. But even when he asked for free Praetorian Guard, you hear one of them going, "Oh," and I thought I was the flashy one. These are supposed to be the most serious. Can you imagine Darth Vader on the Death Star? And one of them, it's almost like a parody. It's almost like something that Seth MacFarlane would do in one of his, when you get someone go, "Oh," and I thought I was the flashy one. Why is that line of dialogue in there? Why? Yeah, question Gideon's motives for wanting free Praetorian Guard. Oh, were you scared? Is there something like you're afraid of that you should be telling us? You'll tell us everything. I get that, the machinations of it. Yeah. And you have got to have. I know there are certain times in a story where you need exposition dumps. You really do. I really do understand that. I know that we can't have half hour, 40 minutes every week, non-stop action, and I'm not calling for that. But you don't need action to be moving a story forward in a way that doesn't just walk, stop, and talk. Short back and sides. She crept around, stopped, talked. He took that, he walked, he stopped, and he talked. I don't know what kind of action scene, or I don't know what kind of movement, maybe that dialogue could have been overlaid on top of to, anyway, no, do you know what? I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go. I'll probably say that for a Hogcast with Taters and Liz and all, because there are 101 ways this could have been made exciting, and it just isn't. It's boring. I'm sorry, it's just boring. This is the last but one episode, the penultimate episode, and they're still explaining things. They're showing us all the threads from all the other boring episodes that are all coming together. Nah. Then we're back on Navarro. I am enjoying these Navarro scenes with this incompetent droid. So we had an episode where the pirates turned up and the droid comes waddling in saying, "Oh, there's a ship appeared." He's doing it again. This droid needs smelting down, I tell you. He needs, I'll tell you what, I'd be selling him to the Jawa straight away. He's useless, this droid. Because old Creed, he's already looking up in the air, he's thinking, "Oh, there's a bit of a spaceship hovering over me again." God knows how. I've been through that before. The Mandalorian fleet just turns up, and this droid's running in again. He's running in through the door, waddling in again, going, "Oh, it's an Imperial fighter." And Gold Creed, he looks at it, nah, look at the markings. The droid don't even know that. How stupid. I know this is Star Wars, right? But what is that droid's what is he, the butler? I don't know what he does, this droid. It's I need to know. It's just so slow. Oh. Bo-Katan's got Grogu on her lap now. Now, if I was old Mando, if I was old Bin Djarin, I'd be thinking, "Oh, tight, like, he's my mate. He sits on my lap." I've had him for 3 series, 2.5 series. But we all know where this is going. And to be fair, that doesn't bother me, because I've got to say that they are setting this up in a way. Yeah, that's the least thing that bothers me. So all the Mandalorians, because old Creed's giving them a load of land, and so that's good. So they all land. All the naughty Mandalorians land. There's a little bit of a staring competition between the nice Mandalorians and the naughty Mandalorians that the Bo-Katan has just that's just got for us. And Creed just walks over like he's just walking out of nowhere. Like of all the every other time, they need to show precisely how someone gets from A to B. There's no cut. There's no cut from someone talking to someone and saying, "Yep, yeah, I'll see you in a minute," putting the phone down and then being there. There's none of that in Dismal Minus. They need to put the phone down. You need to see them get up. You need to see them walk into the door. You need to see them opening the door, explaining how they open the door, and you need to see them walking to the person they just spoke to. You need to see the whole journey. But for some reason, Creed, it's obviously hit the cutting room floor. They obviously they cut 10 minutes from it, showing him walking with his stupid droid, getting in, stoop 1D, getting into his spaceship, and then having his helicopter going out a little bit. Unless he did walk, Creed just walks up, got a little bottle of wine, little celebration, and then he says, "I've got something else. I've got another present for you. IG-12." Which is just a metal marionette guided by a little person in the middle. The little aliens that fit, I don't know. Well, I forget what they're called now, them little aliens. And then we get, so we've got Grogu eating nuts again and spilling them all over the place. He's got very good manners, to be fair. And there's this little alien in IG-12 with the controls going, and then there's a scene where they're both on the table. I mean, it's not very hygienic, is it? Walking all over the table, these aliens. I mean, I wouldn't want to eat off that table unless that's what that stoop 1D is for. Because he hasn't got any sensors for spaceships. Oh, Creed explains to Mandalorian that, yeah, this is IG-12. He's more like a vehicle now. So what? Why? And why have you repurposed this robot with two buttons? One that says yes, and when you press the other one, it says no. So a little alien can sit in it. Why would you do that? Yes. No. Oh, shit. But they have cleverly got away with giving Grogu a voice temporarily, but they don't care. They don't care, do they, whether it's long term or not? They just care for now. They've got away with it because they've given him a robot voice. He can just press a button with his little rubber finger. And don't get me wrong, I mean, hilarity ensues, but in a way it reminded me of, and with old Giancarlo Esposito in this, it reminded me of Better Call Saul, where you had Hector Salamanca with the bell going ding, 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 or ding, ding for no and ding for yes and all that. But anyway, we won't go there because that was 55 times better than this load of nonsense. And Mando doesn't approve. But you could have just got him. If you don't approve, just get him and take him out. If you don't think this is the way, then just get him. Just go, that ain't the way. I have spoken. No? But we need a comedic scene because it's probably been 10 or 15 minutes now where we've had serious walking and talking, to be fair. We've had the Mandalorian staring at each other. We've had some serious walking and talking. Bo-Katan, of course, she's giving speeches galore. She's very referential talking now. Then back to the naughty Mandos, the naughty Mandalorians. They're having a bit of a barbecue. But it's one of them ones, when you go to one of them barbecues where it's not really kicking off properly. Like you turn up, don't you? You turn up with a bottle of wine and crate of beer, and the music's a bit lower than it should be, and no one's really talking to each other. It's one of them barbecues because the nice Mandos and the naughty Mandos, they're not getting on. So you know what this needs. This needs some talking. This needs more talking about. We need Bo-Katan to do some talking here. And, oh yes, she does. She declares her declarations and, oh, here we go again. I don't know how far into the programme we're in, into this episode we're in by the time she's declaring her declarations. Resulting in, and I do get it. I do know why this is all happening to bring all these diverse tribes of Mandalorians together. Yeah, I get it, but it's just done in a pathetic way. This isn't exciting. This is not the way. So she's telling them all, boring everyone to death. Like, might as well have another drink while you listen to Bo-Katan rattle on. Anyway, Mandalorian's the first one. She said, we're going to go on a mission back to Mandalore. We already know it ain't poisonous, but she's got to tell us all again. It ain't poisonous, blah, 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 blah. Mandalorian says, I will go. Which prompts another one to say, I will go. And do you know what? That could have been a rousing scene. It could have been, if it had been born from something, if it had been, it wasn't exactly I am Spartacus. Because it was just a load of masked people saying, I will go. It could have been so much. It was the scene was designed to bond these two disparate, but you're not seeing anything leading up to it. There's no build up to it. That isn't a full stop to anything. There's no power to it. There's nothing to it except comedic value. I will go. I will go. I wonder what the other bloke's going to say. I will go. They're all going. They're all going now. And by the way, Mando volunteers old Grogu. I would love to have seen a little scene of him going, I didn't volunteer for this shit. Oh, and no. So, obviously we've got to see them all going, haven't we? We've got to see the light jump. We've got to see everything. We've got to see them travelling now. We've got to see, and again, I will say, throughout this series, beautiful CGI effects and computer-generated graphics for the spaceships and all that. Marvellous. All beautiful stuff. 3 minutes later, and some dialogue along the lines of they're going through the atmosphere of Mandalore, and yes, comms will be down from now. Why? Why have they just got to keep talking? We didn't need to know that. We was told that earlier when she said, in a rousing speech before everyone will go, that the atmosphere blocks, but we need to be reminded of it because that scene was filmed yesterday and this scene was filmed the next day and they'd forgotten about it. We got to reiterate it. Oh, it's just shocking. Just shocking. And it reminded me of like a scene from Aliens when they're in the dropship and how decent writers and decent actors can give you so much in such a short space of time. As in, they're even developing the characters on the way down in that dropship, and they're passing on so much information in such a viscerally physical scene of going through the atmosphere of a planet. This lot, no, just there's a bit of a beeping. There's a bit of a beeping in the cockpit. After Bo-Katan says, "Oh, we're going to lose comms in a minute." Everyone's supposed to be scared. I don't know. Oh, we're going to lose comms in a minute. And then you hear a beep, 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 and then there's some rain on the window. Oh. It's just boring. Then they all drop down, and again, that's all really well done. But they all drop down in a big group that doesn't even look right. I don't know how Mandalorians in a science fiction planet would land, but do you know what? And I've never been in the armed forces, but I think you might want to spread out a little bit and take some cover on the way down instead of just all landing in a big group in the open. I don't know. Just didn't look how. Oh, anyway. Now they're all walking again. They've all landed and said, "Yep, it's okay. It's okay to land the ships." That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Now they're all walking to where they've got to go. Of course they are. Because that gives us more opportunity to tell us the story. To give us more background of Mandalorian. This is the 7th episode. If you've got to give us any more information by now, what have you been doing for 7? Well, we know what they've been doing for 7 episodes, don't we? Oh. We get walking. Now they're making a camp, but they can't get on, can they? The naughty Mandos and the nice Mandos, because they're playing a little game of space chess. And I remember a film that made a game of space chess really interesting. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you remember what film that was. The name of the film eludes me at the moment. But they are literally arguing the rules of the game. They are literally explaining the rules of the game. Pathetic. It's pathetic. I'm sorry. It's pathetic on every level. And then so now I think we're about 25 minutes, half hour into the show. So fisticuffs. Yay! 2 Mandalorians fighting. And then Grogu splits them up. No. Why would they listen to him? Why? Well, especially the naughty Mandalorian. Why would he just go, "Get out of it, I want to do him. He has dissed me and my posse." But no. Then IG-12 just waddles in, and old Grogu goes, "No." And they go, "All right then." It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And I don't know, Bo-Katan or Mando, they're both standing next to each other. "Oh, I didn't think of that. I didn't know that was the way." Oh, fuck's sake. And they meet this other tribe of Mandalorians, which was really well done on this kind of steampunkish looking. I thought it was going to be another gang of pirates, to be fair, but I thought, no, we've done them before. But it was a really nice, like I say, special effects and all that are well done. And you've got a tribe of Mandalorians that have been there since day one. I thought they'd had the right hump, to be fair. I thought they'd have had the right hump. But anyway, they fly over. Say, "Yeah, we can take you to the where the forge is. We can show you." Oh, that's all right then. That saves a lot of intention and obstacle that would normally create a dramatically competent story. What's your intention? I want to find the original Forge on Mandalore. Right, that's 2 episodes right there. Not here. I will just take you there. And as they take them there, this big monster. They love a monster in this show, this season. Big monster jumps out, and if they know where it is and they've been on this planet like since the Purge, why take them to where there's monsters? Because they have to abandon ship and the monster smashes it. More walking and talking. Now, of course, now that all the ship's been smashed, great opportunity to do more walking and more talking. And if anyone is thinking, because I know there's a lot of you now that have said to me, like, you just watch and thank you so much. Like, you say to me, I'd rather watch your video than this show. And I thank everyone for that. I really do thank you for that. But you might think I'm exaggerating. But they do more walking and talking now to get to the forge, to go underground and get to the forge. I don't know where the old Morlocks have gone from episode 2, was it? Don't know where they've gone. It's all deserted again. But then, da-da! It's the last 10 minutes of the episode. So, da-da! Jetpacks. They're not Mandalorians. Because we did need someone to tell us, didn't we? This is what I mean. We needed someone to tell us. It's a trap. Shit. There's a little skirmish, and it's so obvious. It's so obvious that they're making the Mandalorians chase them down a cave. It's just so obvious. When they get there, oh, it's an ambush. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. And old Mando is the only one out there. They shut this blast door. Bear in mind, Bo-Katan's got the darksaber. 5 minutes later, after they've tied up Mandalorian, all these ones flying around, Gideon flies down, gives us another exposition dump. And I'm not joking. I'm not joking. He literally carries on talking about Beskar armor and blah, 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 and we're the, I want your planet and la, la, la. They've got him tied, they've got the Mandalorian tied up. And he flies down on his jetpack and he goes, disarm him. Shocking. Disarm him. Yeah, well, going back to seventh final again, if it was me, I would have been doing one of his stormtroopers going, oh, really, you think? Yeah, that's standard practice. SOP. That is SOP for us stormtroopers, guy. Anyway. And he says, after he's disarmed, he says, take him to the briefing room. Not take him away, not shoot him in the head, not take off his helmet and chop it off, nothing. Take him to the briefing room. And he sees old Bo-Katan through the window of the blast door, and he goes, oh, Bo-Katan, we have to stop meeting like this. She's got the darksaber. The blast doors come down. He's rabbiting on. disarm him, take him to the briefing room. My God, again, I'm saying there's no urgency, there's no dynamism. If you was in that situation, why are you all looking through the window? You'd be thinking, it's about time we retreat because we've just walked into a trap. Does anyone here have any ideas? What about you with the dark saber that can cut a big hole through the door that's trapping us behind? No. How this scene unfolds is, for some reason, Gideon, as he's flying away, says, open the door and shoot him. You just leave them there, let them starve, wouldn't you? If you think they can't escape, just let them starve, let them die a slow death. Just keep watch through the window every now and again. Oh yeah, they're dying. You do something. Open the door. You wouldn't even bother, would you? I don't know what. It's pathetic. Open the blast door. Anyway, but as they do so, but now it's woken up a little bit because now old Bo-Katan's got to use a dark saber to cut a hole in the back door. And that's what they do, except the big geezer with a gun. And I'm going to end this video with that guy, the scene they did with the Free Praetorian Guard, that you would think Moff Gideon had employed to get rid of the Mandalorian or Bo-Katan with the Darksaber. But I'm obviously saving that hopefully to next week maybe. But he did put up, it could obviously have been done better. 100 times better, 101 times better. But what they did, as far as Dismal can go, that was a competently handled scene. You did feel for him. He dispatches a few of the normal blokes, and then the Praetorian Guard turn up, and you think, oh my God. But this could have really been, I mean, up till now, I don't know how long this episode lasted. It felt like 3 hours. But I would have spent more time on this end scene. It could have been great. The dropship, the Mandalorians coming out, spreading out. I don't know what, and how they could have been more competent. Like, so they're not that thick to just wander into an ambush. It was just something to just get them on there and lure them into that trap. No, walk. Let's land in a group. Let's walk straight. Let's talk a bit. Let's play some chess. But anyway, the Praetorian Guard fight with a big Mandalorian was. I felt it, for a change. I felt something for someone in this show. I'd seen him from the first episode, I think he turns up in. But certainly from the second one with his boy. Nice. Come on. Little glimpse there. Anyway. End. More walking and talking to come. I don't know what they're going to do next week. We don't know what they're going to do next week. Is all of these threads are going to be left open in a cliffhanger because that's what they do. Nothing's going to be resolved. I don't know what's going to be resolved. She's already got the Darksaber. Thrawn might turn up. But anyway, we will have a better chat about that on the Hogcast. If they're going to end it with Thrawn turning up or the back of his head. They like showing the back of his head at the moment, don't they? Oh, so what? Really, so what? It's taken you 8 episodes to do this. I don't know if IG-12 might get some other buttons. Anyway, I'm going to end it there because it's pathetic enough to... Yeah, that's enough. That is enough. I'll say again, thank you to everyone who started commenting. I really, really appreciate it. And you must know by now I love getting into it with you lot. And even if you disagree with me, I don't know if you're all noticing, but if you do disagree, come on, just tell me why you're enjoying it. I'm not... My mockery, I'll say again, doesn't mean I'm telling you not to enjoy it. And if you watch my celebration, my Star Wars celebration with Taters video, I was there enjoying Star Wars. It's completely different to trying to enjoy this. It really is. It's a completely different thing. I want to enjoy it. I want 8 episodes of Mandalorians in their dropships and trying to reclaim the planet, and Moff Gideon up to shenanigans. And I'm up for it. This is just boring. I'm sorry, it's boring. And just by saying, oh, we mentioned Grand Admiral Thrawn doesn't make it exciting. Anyway, I digress. Thank you all. Those of you, please keep commenting. Give me a thumbs up if you do like it. I've seen you disliking it, but then nevertheless, if you dislike it, it's all good. It's all good. Subscribe if you're mental and you want to be notified every time I issue forth any further creativity. But most of all, thanks. Thank you ever so much. I really do appreciate it. And until the final episode next week, I will bid you adios.